Bob Schaefer is a treasure.
He can simplify complex ideas and make it really come to life.
During Speak Out, Bob is training us to be the best.
In some ways, Mike has probably shaped the leadership program of the Rockies more than anybody.
If Socrates were alive and walking the planet today, I think he would look a lot like and sound like Michael Williams.
His ability to question himself, I think, helps to be able to challenge their thinking in order for them to grow.
You never want to stop listening to Tom. He has this unique ability to entertain and educate at the same time.
I've learned so much from him in his mastery of history.
One of the best professors on the founding of the country, about the American experience.
Shari is the magician who puts the whole program together.
Shari's effect is the what now.
Shari makes each and every one of us feel like we can go out and conquer the world. And Shari Williams is the person who makes Leadership Program of the Rockies family.
It takes all these people working together to actually get us on track to the ideas of the American founding.
When these founders, the sons of their revolution and others, got together and met in taverns and restaurants and people's homes and thought about how they can make a more perfect union. I like to imagine that our LPR gatherings are a lot like theirs. This phrase that we use in LPR, freedom over force, is a modern revolutionary statement that ties us to the American Revolution and all struggles for freedom that our country has confronted since then.
The LPR classes, most people come in and they know some things. They know some things about the United States today. They know some things about American history, but they've never pieced together the whole picture of how these grand, beautiful philosophic ideas launched this experiment in self-government.
LPR is an absolute breath of fresh air to be amongst people that are willing to explore the principles of this country, that made this country the greatest, most freest nation in the history of the world, to challenge your thinking and really be able to hone in on the why of why do you believe that way, and fine-tune the message of how to share that with other people.
The whole leadership program of the Rockies is tied together by these two threads. One is that I'm in charge of, called the Defenders of Capitalism program. The other, Dr. Cranaway is in charge of, called the Defenders of Declaration.
These two branches of knowledge are actually studying the same phenomenon, which is moral philosophy and the science of economics. We integrate these things together.
We want them to understand the importance of the individual rights, but you can't have individual rights without having a government that does protect those rights, performing their proper role. And you can't have that, you can't have either one of those unless you have citizens who are active, engaged, and wanting to be free.
It's a deep dive into our Constitution, our Declaration of Independence, and our founding principles.
That's a capitalist society. That's a Declaration of Independence society. That's a regime of liberty.
Defenders of Capitalism is so unique. Capitalism has created more prosperity for more people than any other socioeconomic system in the history of the world. But Mike takes it just one step deeper.
The major purpose behind what I'm trying to do with Defenders of Capitalism is have people become more open to the idea of capitalism itself being a moral, good, just system. The word capitalism must recognize that human beings live primarily and survive and thrive by the use of their mind, and that's what we want to make sure is kept free. I mean, political freedom in America means that you can speak, think, act freely by using your mind, and capitalism is intimately associated with that whole idea of the use of the mind.
Growing up with a single mom and a dad who struggle with addiction, capitalism has given me a life far better than I ever could have imagined. It improves the communities that you live in. It helps people not be another statistic. It transformed my life.
That is an understanding that they gain and can only gain at LPR, because almost nobody in our culture teaches that, talks about that. The idea that force, that coercion is evil and that it suppresses economic success and economic growth, that it is the antithesis of the America of the founding. That again is an idea that where else are they going to get an in-depth discussion of? This program could not exist without Mike Williams, who is uniquely able to bring all these ideas together.
Tom Kranowitter's Defenders of the Declaration integrates into the program as well as the Defenders of Capitalism. It's a demonstration of what we're actually talking about.
The Defenders of the Declaration of Independence all revolves around this incredible fact of the United States that we were born out of a philosophic idea. America was founded on a philosophic idea.
That Declaration of Independence that they wrote, it is the purest, it is the best, it is the most perfect articulation of liberty ever, and how Americans should break away and be different.
No regime had ever had a founding like that before in history. And so what we do in the Defenders of the Declaration is we want to remind people of that fact, and we want to help them improve how to communicate that, how to talk about that, how to inspire others, how to incorporate it into their own lives.
When you look around and you see so many who are doing meaningful things and speaking with articulate authority because they know what's in our Declaration of Independence and what this document means.
I co-founded a group called Ladies for Liberty, and we started out as 30 women who came for lunch and just had a little bit of a curiosity. And we've grown to over 200 paid members who come monthly to educate themselves, whether it's on politics or education or individual rights. And now we have a group of moms who are actually down at the Capitol testifying against legislature that is fundamentally against our founding rights.
I took the LPR principles and went out in the world and applied it to start private art school.
The courage to start a business is exactly what the founders had in mind, because it incorporates all of the core principles of equal justice under law, private property, rather than the coercive power of the state.
LPR grads have done all kinds of things that I've watched over the years. They've run for local office and won. They've won for state office and won. They've run for state office and lost. They've run for local office and lost. They've done talk shows. They've affected policy. They've served in other conservative groups throughout the country. So there is no one path. And some just went back into their community and made change at a grassroots level.
I hope LPR inspires people to think critically about their life, about the role of government in their life, and what they can do to improve the communities that they live in, because that's where the greatest change happens. It's in your neighborhood, it's with your friends, it's in the circles that you run in.
The power of the individual citizen that is well equipped with the right ideas, that understands the timeless principles, and knows how to be a leader in action, and knows how to unify people around them to make a change. That's how we're going to change the culture of the United States.
When you called us power sneezers, it just stuck with me to saying, everyone you talk to, you're spreading that word, and people are starting to latch onto it and hear what you have to say of what it means to be an American.
I teach at a school that is 97% inner city, economically disadvantaged black kids. I love being able to make the moral case for free markets and free enterprise. I am absolutely a change agent for the culture.
As a busy mom who's running a household with 4 kids, a puppy, a traveling husband, I made the time, and I am so grateful I did, because I have walked out of this experience a better person, better able to explain the values of our country and why it's amazing to be a U.S. citizen.
We do what we do because we actually care about people. We love people. We don't want to see them mired in poverty and suffering from sickness and short lifespan. We like to see people flourish.
When I think about the leadership program in the Rockies, we're trying to teach people about a little bit of economics, a little bit of history, a little bit of politics, trying to blend it all together in terms of maybe what they want to do in terms of activism and making the world better. But the more important thing is, what are they going to do with their life? How are they going to be more purposeful, more happy, more ambitious about what they want for themselves? And this is truly what I think the founders had in mind in the first place. When they talk about pursuit of happiness, having a country where people could do that, that is to me the obvious point of having a free country. You get to decide what you're going to do with your life.
And as long as there's that glimmer of hope that some people are willing to think that they're not simply swallowing whatever propaganda the administrative state dishes out to them, that means the little spark, the fire of liberty, never dies out completely. As long as LPR exists, that fire keeps burning.